The Supreme Court shutting down President Biden's vaccine or test mandate for private companies with employees more than topping 100. This happening by a 6-3 vote. The three liberal justices all dissenting. Of course, Sotomayor in particular coughed up some complete fallacies about, say, how many children were sick when they heard the arguments last week. The High Court did say that what can remain in place is the vax or test mandate for medical facilities receiving Medicare or Medicaid. Justices Kavanaugh and Roberts siding with the liberal justices. Former U.S. Acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker joins us now to discuss. This is very important. Well, just, you know what? I'm going to be quiet. Matt, your take.
Well, good morning, Dagan, and thanks for having me on. You know, I think this is a victory for federalism on the OSHA case, and I think this is the first step of the Supreme Court telling Congress and the administrative state that these powers cannot be delegated, because ultimately, if OSHA can mandate someone getting a shot in their arm, which has never happened before, that with very vague enabling language, then imagine the power that this administrative state can have over our lives. And so this is where the people, through our representatives and Congress, have been now enabled and empowered, or got that power back from the Supreme Court. And especially in Gorsuch's concurrence, he lays out how important that responsibility to elected officials to not delegate this power and not give it away, and not allow unelected, nameless, faceless bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. to this kind of sway over our lives, and 84 million Americans are better off for it.
James Freeman, this is about the separation of powers. It's about Congress needed to pass a pass a mandate or pass a law authorizing the mandate. And I said this, that this vax or test mandate by Biden was never actually about the shot. It was about an unclothed emperor handing down an edict or a wannabe king's command designed to expand the powers of the presidency and the executive branch for the future, say future use by dictatorial Democrats for things like climate change. What say you, James?
Well, it is interesting because the Supreme Court did seem to leave open the door that if Congress wants to give OSHA, this workplace safety agency, more power, that it could. I don't really see that happening, but Matt, I guess I'd welcome your thoughts on this. Is it possible that through the evenly divided Senate, he might be able to push through a more powerful role for OSHA, and then they can come back with another mandate?
Well, if you remember, after the OSHA mandate, after the OSHA mandate was drafted by the administration, the Senate actually voted. A majority of them said that they did not support this rule, and so I don't think that ultimately there will be a political movement for a vaccine mandate. But saying that, there is no doubt that what this opinion is going to be held out to say, depending on which side of the aisle you are, is that all you need is a more precise enabling statute, and the bureaucracy can do whatever it wants. Now, this is why I point to Gorsuch's concurrence, because it's so important in saying that important decisions require Congress to pass, and you can't just have vague, broad statutes give the bureaucracy the power to do things like requiring 84 million people to get vaccinated. So I don't think ultimately Congress is has the political will to pass a vaccine mandate, and quite frankly, after the fall of 22, I'm not sure Congress is going to have much will to do anything to support President Biden and his agenda.
And I'll point out that in the Wall Street Journal, they go through many companies that will not impose these COVID-19 vaccine rules, and many CEOs for, say, mid-size or even smaller companies who are extremely relieved because it was going to mean losing workers at a time that they can't afford to do that, like trucking companies. Matt, a major concern at the southern border is the rise of human and drug trafficking. This is something the Department of Homeland Security is warning the Biden administration about. Officials are estimating that we'll see more than 2 million illegal border crossings in 2021. That's an all-time high. Before we go, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, we've just seen an explosion of human trafficking, especially at our southern border, and directly related to President Biden and his administration's policies and having essentially an open border, with Mexico. Ultimately, this is going to take something more than just saying it's a problem. In the Trump administration, not only do we put money into law enforcement, over $100 million, President Trump also had a summit at the White House, and he also issued an executive order that told the Department of Justice, while I was there, to dismantle these transnational human trafficking organizations that are and drug trafficking organizations. And so, this administration needs to do more in this regard because it's hurting real people and real lives.
They have laid the foundation for human traffickers and drug traffickers to profit and prosper from human misery and suffering, period. Matt Whitaker, always great to see you, my friend. Thank you so much. Please come back soon.
All right, Dagan, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.